Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and today's video will hopefully be the first in a brand new series that I'm calling HomeSliceHenry Stream Highlights and Assorted Garbage Episode 1. As you can see, this series will cover Go Battle League content that I do really want to feature on the channel, but that maybe isn't quite enough to be its own full video. But since I still do want to share it, hence the series. For example, let's say a meme team where I only get one win, or if I match up with a content creator and have a really fun battle. And so without further ado, let's hop into it and take a look at HomeSliceHenry Stream Highlights and Assorted Garbage Episode 1. So to start, we are going to be taking a look at a couple battles that I had versus content creators. And I will link their channels, whether YouTube or Twitch, in the description. The first one is against Inadequates, who is a fantastic Twitch streamer and Chandelure aficionado. He's leading Shadow Dragonite in the Open Ultra, so a very, very cool pick. And I am going to shield up the Dragon Claw as he safe swaps into his Abomasnow. I overfarm quite a bit, and I'm going for the Aquatail bait in the hopes of getting a shield. Unfortunately, he actually does save his shield. Charge move coming through. This Weather Ball, I have good IVs. It will barely not KO me, so I can survive that, and I'm going for the Crunch. And this will be very telling. He lets it go, so I'm going to come in with Lapras. At this point, I'm very confident that he has Chandelure in the back. Typically, for people running Chandelure, you do want to save both shields for it, so I'm going to shield up the Energy Ball, farm down, and attempt to get a big energy lead versus the Chandelure. Oh my goodness, and it is Chandelure. This is going to be a tough match. We do have two Surfs, but Incinerate, as you can see, he sneaks one through there, generates an insane amount of damage and energy. This is going to be a difficult fight. And here he is at the Shadow Ball. This is a difficult position because Shadow Ball does take me out, but without a Flame Charge, Shadow Ball does not KO. As you can see, I did try and sack the Gyarados. Unfortunately, it accidentally deferred the Incinerate onto Gyarados. That didn't quite work out. The Shadow Dragonite comes back. I don't want to get farmed down, so I do throw the Dragon Claw right away. Chandelure comes back in. I go for the Dragon Claw, hoping that this will be enough to take it out. It's not quite, but I'm able to farm it down because Incinerate is a 5-turn move, so a very narrow win. Next battle is against Emily Dicolo, leading a Shadow Swampert. This is about the best possible lead you can have with my team. Safe swaps into Armored Mewtwo, and I have a great response in Shadow Claw Giratina. Shadow Claw Giratina does win all even shield scenarios versus Armored Mewtwo, so this is a commanding position for me to be in. As you can see, I am over farming there and attempting to fast move deny because having a Confusion Snake through would not be great. Going for another Shadow Sneak, and this will be doing massive damage to Armored Mewtwo. You can see gets it very low, and we're able to farm down. Now they're going to actually bring out Alolan Muck. And Alolan Muck is a hard counter for Giratina, but since I have switch alignment, this is totally fine. I'm going to be able to line up the Alolan Muck with my Lapras, and I'm going to be able to line up the Swampert with my Gyarados. So I'm in a position to win this game, and he's actually going for the Snarl down on Alolan Muck, an incredibly bold play, because he is seeing that he's going to need a bunch of energy to try and flip this. I'm able to get a shield, and he's able to Snarl all the way down. At this point, I realize that Lapras I can just use as a meat shield. I'm just going to soak all of this energy, Dark Pulse, onto Lapras, and you know what? Lapras can take it. That's what it's here for. It shields 3 and 4 in this match. And he does a really nice catch, catching onto Swampert. That was really, really well done. And I'm going to come in with Gyarados, going straight for the Aquatail, and unfortunately this is just such a commanding matchup for Gyarados. He does have to burn his last shield, and from here, it's basically over. I have a 2-0 shield advantage, and I do have switch alignment, so there's really not much he can do. He does have a second Hydro Cannon here, so I can't 2-shield flex on him by any means. And I'm going to overfarm quite a bit, and then throw the Hydro Cannon, throw the Aquatail, my bad there. Throw the Aquatail right before he does get to the move, and from here, I'm going to be able to shield up the Dark Pulse, and get to the Aquatail, and Aquatail is going to be enough to take out the Alolan Muck and to give me the game. So a very close game, was able to take the win there. Next up, against R stands for Reezy, who is an awesome Twitch streamer, and he's leading Shadow Machamp. Unfortunately, it does lag a bit to start. Shadow Machamp is very tough. How I like to play this is I go straight Aquatail, and then I always call the bait. More often than not, they do bait cross chop. However, he does not. Rock Slide KOs me. I'm going to come in with Giratina. He comes in with Shadow Snorlax, and I'm going to respond with my Lapras. I'm really hoping that his Shadow Snorlax is his only Giratina counter, although the fact that he swapped into it tells me it's probably not. So this is going to be a difficult fight. He is able to get to a charge move there, which is not great. Body Slam gets me very low. And and I lose CMP there, super unfortunate. So I do have to throw. Unfortunately, I did mistime my move, so unfortunately now I no longer have my shield advantage. They are going to bring back in the Machamp to soak the charge move, and I bring up Giratina, and they have a Alolan Muck. Oh no, this is a terrible situation for a Shadow Claw Giratina to be in, as those Shadow Claws are doing absolutely nothing. Dragon Claws do chunk, but Alolan Muck has such a commanding matchup over Shadow Claw Giratina, this is going to be very tough. I know that I can tank one Dark Pulse, so I'm not going to shield the first one, and from here I'm going to make him either snarl me down or double up. Going for the Dragon Claw, this will probably be getting that shield, which it does, and now I just really have to get to 2 Dragon Claws. First one gets it low, we'll need to get to the, unfortunately I get to the Lapras, I try and farm him down, and I'm not able to do so, and he's at 2. So an incredibly close game there. My thinking was if I can get him low enough, I can either A, force him to throw his energy onto the Lapras, or B, farm him down. Unfortunately, was not quite able to do either. So a really good game to those 3 content creators. And next up, live on stream, I had 3 consecutive ties. I've never heard of that being done before. Absolute craziest things. I wanted to show highlights from that because just how do you tie 3 times in a row? We pick up a Togekiss lead. This is obviously a negative lead for Gyarados, but we can typically get a shield, or even better, if we can force CMP, then we'll be in a really good spot because we do CMP if they're going for Ancient Power. So we're going straight for the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail, we get the shield, and it's CMP. This is perfect. This is exactly what we want. We are going to let this go, and now we're going to come in with Lapras and farm all the way down, and they actually concede switch. They come in with a Shadow Swampert. So now we have shield advantage and switch advantage. So this is pretty good. We don't really want to shield our Giratina, strictly just because that Togekiss is still alive and Togekiss has a great matchup against Giratina. Another move from Swampert, this is just going to be the Hydro Cannon, which we can tank. As you can see, I am just eating damage because Giratina is basically useless. And we're going to farm down here, which is perfect. And unfortunately cannot get to a move versus Togekiss. And they have a Melmetal in the back. This is going to be a very, very tough game. I can tank one though. I can eat that Rock Slide, that's fine. And I have an energy lead and shield advantage. Normally this would be bad, but I should be in a pretty good spot here. However, unfortunately, he still has a Togekiss in the back, so this match is far from over. I am making sure to obfuscate how much energy I have, so he's never quite sure. And we're at 2 Surfs. First Surf does a chunk, unfortunately. Yeah, this is tough. I am going to need 2 Surfs to take it out, just because that leaves it with an awkward amount of health, but we are able to get to the 2 Surfs. Able to take it out, and in comes the Togekiss, and we tie. So unfortunately, a tie there. Maybe I could have overfarmed even more on the Lapras, burned the shield, and had I overfarmed by 2, maybe I could have gotten to it, but with taking those Thunder Shocks, then I probably couldn't have survived 2 Charms. So either way, it was probably destined for a tie, unfortunately, but hey, we salvaged a tie out of a negative lead. And here, we actually come into a mirror match. This person is playing my same line, and I make a mistake. I never bait here, but I was like, you know what? I just got off a tie, I'm feeling weird, I'm gonna bait, and they call my bait. Absolutely brutal. Just, oh, good grief. Not good at all. They go for the Aqua Tail as well. And they're somehow able to beat me to an Aqua Tail. So, and I can't get to the Aqua Tail, so I must have missed a fast move there, which is super unfortunate. And this is not a situation you want to be in the mirror match. In the mirror match, if possible, you do want switch advantage because energy on Lapras is really good against most things, but not against an opponent's Lapras. However, in this match, as you can see, I'm going to very carefully execute fast move denial, whereas my opponent will not, and that helps me gain control back in this match. So you can see I do execute fast move denial there, so they do not sneak an extra Ice Shard through. However, my opponent is very cavalier and does not do that, and as you can see, the fast move sneaks through. So I have one free Ice Shard and a second free Ice Shard. So that's already half of a Surf I've gotten for free, and this is helping to make up the difference. I execute denial again, so we are still +2 Ice Shards, and we should be in an okay spot here. Again, fast move denial, no free Ice Shard, so we're still +2 in this department, and we've helped to even out the health situation quite substantially, as we were at half health and they were at full health, and now they are very, very low. They're absolutely loaded on energy here. I am going to let this go. It is a Surf, and I'm going to come in with Giratina, and at this point, I have to call this bait. I know it's a Giratina in back, and it's just a Surf. Absolutely huge call, and they have their own Giratina in the back. I do attempt to execute fast move denial there, although it looked like we were desynced, so that makes it a little more difficult. And I'm able to sneak a Shadow Claw through. I almost said Shadow Sneak. Able to sneak, and they have 2 here, so they do go for the Dragon Claw. I do decide to let that go. Overfarm and fast move denial. So we are up 1 Shadow Claw here. Overfarming again. Executing fast move denial. Hoping that this can get that last shield. And we're able to, through getting that extra Shadow Claw, we're able to be 1 ahead, which takes them out. And we simul-feint again. So another tie. 2 ties in a row. What are the odds? Fortunately, ties don't count against you, but they don't count as wins, so you don't get rewards, which is super unfortunate. And there will be a bit of time in between matches just because I did want to prove that these were back-to-back-to-back ties. All right, I'm like, you know what? All right, we're hopping in. What's the worst that can happen? Another tie? Certainly not. Y'all already know it was a tie. All right, let's just get this 3rd tie out of the way. Gyarados into Giratina. This is a good lead for us, so long as they have the Shadow Claw variant, which they do. They just overfarmed by 1 Shadow Claw. But we win this in the 0 and the 1, so this is a pretty comfortable position for us. Going straight for the crunch, and I basically just mirror shields. If they shield, I shield, and they don't shield, so I do let this go. Another charge move coming through, and I'm going to be able to farm down here before they get to another Dragon Claw. As you can see, they die right as they receive that energy, and we're able to get to an Aqua Tail. This is nice because this provides some solid chip damage onto the Melmetal, even as they get an energy lead over my Giratina. And so that does help nullify some of the energy lead. All right, and Melmetal's going to be just going straight for Rock Slides. This matchup with even energy and even shields is a narrow win for Shadow Claw Giratina. It was made a bit better with the Rock Slide nerf, of course. Rock Slide coming through, and we haven't thrown anything yet, but our healths are pretty similar, and that's just the power of Shadow Claw really eating away here. We overfarm quite a bit, and my opponent does throw the Rock Slide. So unfortunately miscountered a bit there. Going for the Dragon Claw, since I believe that should be enough to take it out, which it is. And they have an Escavalier. Okay. So we should be in an okay spot here because they let the Shadow Sneak go. So from here, huge mistake. I should have thrown the Dragon Claw. If I throw the Dragon Claw, this is a win instead of a tie. I decided to let this go. I'm like, I can farm this down. There's no way they can farm me down in time. And they go for a charge move. I'm like, well, that's a huge mistake. They have Acid Spray. They have Acid Spray. No, at this point I realize, okay, if they second Acid Spray me, this is gonna be a tie. So I do try and throw. I promise I tried to win the game. I'm going for both Surfs. I'm like, please, no tie, no tie. And they're gonna go for a stupid Acid Spray. No! Oh no, and we tie. So let me know in the comments, have you guys ever had more than 3 ties in a row? I would love to know. And next up, we do have a game that I was really proud of. And this was a game where honestly it was a very difficult team for me, but with a very careful undercharge, we were able to win the game in a situation where I was very confident I was going to lose. Leading Giratina into regular Machamp, they save swap into their Snorlax. For Snorlax switch-ins, I do typically like to chip them with an Aqua Tail and then switch out into my Lapras just so I can secure that secondary matchup. Also, if I can throw one Surf and then farm down, I should have some energy to throw at that Machamp, which should help out quite a bit. They go straight for the Body Slam. And from here, I'm calling it, no superpower. And they superpower me. That hurts a lot, but I am able to farm down. And Machamp comes in. Unfortunately, the counter registers, and they have a Clefable. This is tough. This is why I do carry Shadow Claw though, because with Shadow Claw, as you can see, I did go in straight Giratina, so I can chip the Clefable before going into my own before leaving with my Giratina and coming in with my Gyarados. Boy, those names are, they sound quite similar, so. And unfortunately, they are going to be shielding up this Aqua Tail as well, because they know that that's my easiest way to get rid of this Clefable. We're in a tough position here. They come in with Machamp, and I'm realizing that if they have a Machamp in Open Ultra, it probably has Payback. And if they're running, and the fact that they switched out means they probably don't have Rock Slides. They're probably running Payback Cross Chop. So I am going to shield up the Payback, and now I know that since they don't have a Rock Slide, if I undercharge here, I'm able to undercharge perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect undercharge. And we're able to get to the Shadow Sneak, and that is enough to take out the Clefable. So there, even with a Clefable in the back, which is really tough when my Lapras is dead, with that careful undercharge, we were still able to take the game. And finally, a meme team that I tried out and lost a lot with. I tried SmackDown Chestnut in the Open Ultra League, and this was the one win I got with it. I was really proud. Leading Charizard into Berserker, which is a fairly good matchup for us, as we can tank any singular charge move they have. It's the foul play, that definitely hurts, and we're going for the Dragon Claw bait. Don't bait in this matchup, it's a terrible decision, as they call my bait and I am ruined. And they actually switch out into Cresselia, which is a very interesting choice. Probably not one that I would recommend. They shield the Blast Burn, and we're going in with our Tangrowth. And Tangrowth is in an okay position here. Unless they're carrying Aurora Beam, everything is going to be neutral. So we're in a pretty good spot. Well, neutral or resistant, to be fair. We're going to go straight for the Power Whip. And oh my goodness, Cresselia is so tanky. But the bright side, we do have a shield advantage. So we can successfully tank this Moonblast. And from here, they're going to have a lot of trouble Psycho Cutting us down. That really doesn't do a lot of damage. And now we're just going to be able to go straight Power Whip. And they come in with the Berserker, aggressively switching it in, and we are going to shield this up and farm down the Berserker. We're hoping to get a charge move off on whatever they do decide to come in with. And they come in with the Cresselia and throw, so whatever they have in back does not want to see Tangrowth, so hey, we will take that. And we're coming in with the Charizard, and over farming and going for the Dragon Claw. We're hoping this will be enough to take them out, and hopefully we can get to a Blast Burn. And we do get to the Blast Burn on the Granbull. Of course, that gets the shield, and we come in with Chestnut, and it's a Snarl Granbull. Let's go. And we're going to let this go because they could not close combat there. They had to crunch because they didn't want to lower their defense, and my opponent concedes the match. So that was my one win with the SmackDown Chestnut in Open Ultra League. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I mentioned, it's a lot less structured than my previous videos, but it's something that I did quite enjoy. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.